Hello. Hello, students. Is it audible? Please send the chat message. Is it audible? Is it screen is appearing? Please send the chat message. Okay, today's class is on QuickSort. The topic is QuickSort. In design and analysis of algorithms, we have the different sorting techniques. Out of the many sorting techniques, we have QuickSort is one type of technique. So we have the insertion sort, bubble sort, selection sort, and merge sort. These are the different sorting techniques we have. Out of this, some important sorting techniques we are discussing. So insertion sort, design approach, incremental, that is sorts in place, yes, best case, theta of n, and the worst case is theta of n square. Theta of n square. Bubble sort, design approach, incremental, sorts in place, yes, sorts in place, yes, this one, running time, theta of n square, running time is theta of n square. So in the case of bubble sort, selection sort, we have the design approach is incremental and the sorts in place, yes, this one, and the running time is theta of n square. Running time is theta of n square. So merge sort, when you can say design approach, is it divide and conquer algorithm? The sorting in place or not, that is in sorting technique, this one, and running time is, you can see this one. So divide and conquer approach, already explained, we are dividing the problem into number of subproblems and finding the solution to each subproblem. To get this, after getting the solution to each subproblem, we are comparing the solutions of these subproblems. Already explained in the previous class, the merge sort. Merge sort means it uses different files for sorting the given elements. So sorts a file of huge records with tiny keys. So example application, reorganize your MP3 files. Which method to use? Merge sort, wanted to run in time, nlogn. So these are the different methods. So insertion sort or bubble sort, no, we can't use for this. Too many exchanges are there. Whereas in the selection sort, we can use this one. It takes linear time for exchanges. Whereas in the case of merge sort or custom method, probably not. Selection sort simpler, does less swaps. Hello, dear students, is it audible? Please send the chat message. Anyone can reply on chat. Okay, merge sort or custom method, probably not. This one. Selection sort is a simple one. Does less number of swaps. Comparing in the selection sort, we have the less number of swappings, whereas in the merge sort, we consider this one, probably not. So when you consider the problem, sort a huge randomly ordered file of small records. Very small number of records are there. We want to sort. Then the application is process transaction record for a phone company. So which sorting method to use? We have the bubble sort, selection sort, merge sort, insertion sort, these different types of techniques. When you consider the huge and randomly ordered files, selection sort, no, we can't use. Always takes quadratic time, whereas bubble sort, we can't use bubble sort for this huge randomly ordered files. That is a quadratic time for randomly ordered keys. Insertion sort when you take, no, this is also a quadratic time for randomly ordered keys. So merge sort, yes, we can use this one. It is designed for this problem for huge randomly ordered files. So another one, sorting challenge 3, sort a file that is already almost in sorted order. When you consider this one, the applications so sort a file that is already almost in order. Suppose already given some file that is in the data is in sorted order. The data is in sorted order. In that case, the applications are resort a huge database after a few changes. After some changes, we can resort a large amount of database. Double check that someone else sorted a file. Some other one sorted a file. So you need to do 2 times checking in that case. So which sorting method to use to sort a file that is already in sorted order? So selection sort, no. No, it is not possible. That is always takes quadratic time. It takes a lot of time. So bubble sort, no. Bad for some definitions of almost in order. Suppose when you can see insertion sort is suitable for this problem. Yes, takes linear time for most definitions of almost in order. If the file is in order, then the insertion sort will be better since takes linear time. Suppose merge sort, probably not. That is insertion sort is simpler and faster. So quick sort, our main topic. is quicksort. It is a divide and conquer algorithm. Already you know what is a divide and conquer. Divide means dividing the problem into number of sub problems and finding the solution to each sub problem. After that, you can combine all these solutions to get the solution to the original problem. So in our quick sort, we have an array of elements. We want to sort these elements in the array. So we are using A of P to R. A of P to R means A is a name of the array, P is the lower bound index, and R is the upper bound index. So A of P to R means P is a lower bound, R is a upper bound. So see this one in this figure, we are considering A of P to Q less than or equal to A of Q plus 1 to R. So what is this one? P to Q, Q plus 1 to R. That means Q is a point or element at which we are partitioning the entire list of elements into two parts, left part and right part. Left part is P to Q elements in the array A, and the right part is Q plus 1. That is after Q, the next element is Q plus 1. Q plus 1 to R. R is the upper bound and Q plus 1 is the lower bound for the second array. So we have the divide and conquer algorithm. In this, we have divide means partition the array A into two subarrays A and A P to Q and A Q plus 1 to R. So we are dividing or partitioning the given array into two parts. One is A P to Q, another one is A Q plus 1 to R, such that each element of A P to Q is smaller than or equal to each element in A of Q plus 1 to R. That means we are dividing the array into two subarrays P to Q and Q plus 1 to R, two elements, two sets, such that each element of A of P to Q is smaller than or equal to each element in A of Q plus 1 to R. That meaning is the elements in the left side. That means in this part, the elements in this part are less than the elements in this right part. The elements in A of Q plus 1 are more value comparing with the elements in A of P to Q. So A of P to Q elements are less than the A of Q plus 1 to R elements. In this way, we are partitioning the entire array into two parts. So need to find index Q to partition the array. We want to partition the array. So index Q we need to find at which index of the array of elements we want to partition. We want to divide that particular array into two parts. So at the index Q we want to divide. So that is why A P to R, in A P to R we need to find the Q, index Q, such that at Q we can divide the entire array into two parts. That is, first part is A of P to Q and the second part is A of Q plus 1 to R. In this way, into two subarrays, we are dividing the entire array. We are partitioning. That is a divide. Now see the next one. Conquer. Conquer means finding the solution or recursively sorting. Here the problem is sorting. In sorting means arranging the elements in ascending order or in descending order. Here we are taking the arrangement of elements in ascending order. So recursively sort A of P to Q and A of Q plus 1 to R using quick sort. That means left part and right part. You can recursively apply the same sorting technique, that is quick sort technique, to sort the elements in the left part and right part, left sub area and the right sub area. So combine trivial, the arrays are sorted in place. So that is a in place sorting. In place sorting means we need not require any external memory, any other type of memory. Only at that particular place, whatever memory is given for that particular array, at that place you can sort the elements. So no additional work is required to combine them. No additional work is required. The entire array is now sorted. We are sorting the entire array. Okay, next one. So combine. Combine means we need to combine the solutions or sorted elements. That is trivial. The arrays are sorted in place. No additional work is required to combine them. The entire array is now in sorted order. So that means after combining two sorted subarrays, you will get the sorted array. That means this subpart, first subpart is sorted, second subpart is also sorted. Now we are combining these sorted elements. Finally, you will get the sorted array. Now see the quicksort algorithm. The quicksort algorithm, okay, in the quicksort algorithm, we have the three arguments A, P, and R. So what is A? A is the array, and P is the left, that is lower bound index. R is the upper bound index in the array. So P to R, the array is there. So initially P equal to 1 and R equal to N. So lower bound is 1 and the upper bound is N. Lower bound is 1 and the upper bound is N of the array. If P less than R, then Q partition of APR. That means we are applying the partition algorithm on the array A with lower bound P and upper bound R. Lower bound P means that is 1, starting from 1, and N set N, 1 to N, array containing 1 to N, 1 to N array elements, N number of array elements. Lower bound is 1, upper bound is N. The same thing, initially we are representing with P and R. P is the lower bound of the array, R is the upper bound of the array. So we are partitioning the given array A into two parts. So Q is the partitioning element. That means the element which is used for partitioning the given array into two subparts, two subarrays. So what is Q? Q is the index at which we want to partition that entire array into two subarrays. So quicksort, we are calling the same procedure quicksort with left subpart. Left subpart is A comma P comma Q. That is, we are sending the arguments A, P, Q parameters. A is the array name of the array, and P is the lower bound of the array, and Q is the point where the array is divided. So Q is the upper bound. So quicksort of a comma q plus 1 comma r. That means remaining part, that is q plus 1. We are starting from q plus 1 and upper bound is r. So q plus 1 to r, there is a sub area where you are applying quicksort on it. That means what we are doing here, recursively applying the quicksort on after partitioning on two subarrays. So recurrence relation for this quicksort algorithm is T of n, that is time complexity of for the n number of inputs, is equals to TQ T of q plus T of n minus q. That means we are taking some number of elements in the first case and in the first subarray, and n minus q number of elements in the second subarray. So T of n minus q plus f of n depends on the partitioning. We are applying the partitioning procedure initially. So what is the partitioning complexity? To partition the given array, what is the complexity? So that is function f of n. So what is here T of q and T of n minus q? T of q for quicksort FPQ, time complexity, and T of n minus q for the quicksort, second quicksort, time complexity. These two are recursive procedures. Again, they are calling the main procedure quicksort. So choosing partition, how to choose the partition element? There are two different ways to do this. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. So choosing partition. So Hore partition, according to Hore scientist, how to partition the given array. So already we discussed there are different ways to partition the given array. Suppose select a pivot element x around which to partition. So we are selecting the pivot element x. Based on that, we are partitioning the given array. So gross two regions, A of P to I less than or equal to x, and x less than or equal to A of J to R. So A of P to I less than or equal to x, less than the x value. In the same way, x is less than or equal to A of J to R. So we are taking this one. I and j are the pointers. We are pointing the elements or cells of the array. Suppose here A of P to R, pivot x equal to 5. We have taken x value as 5. So lower bound is P, upper bound is R. I and j are the pointers. I is pointing to the initial lower bound and j is pointing to the upper bound. Now see this one. We have the pivot I pointing to 5 and here j pointing to 3. So what we are checking here, we are checking that which element is having the higher value than 5, and we are checking in the right hand side where I is the pointer. Initially that is pointing to 5. Now we are moving I to point to next element and check the value is greater than 5 or not. If it is greater than 5, then I will stop there. So now check here 5 and 3. So 3 is less than 5. So no need. Now again continue. 2 is less than 5. Again continue. 6 is greater than 5. So stop here. Now I is pointing to 6. So like this, you can continue this one. So j also you can decrement. So here I and j are swapped. So 3 and 5. Now j is pointing to 5, I is pointing to 3. Now see this one. I is pointing to 6 now. We are checking whether it is less than or equal to 3. 3 is a Suppose when you checked 6 is greater than 3. So 6 is greater than 3 means you can stop here. Here j is pointing to 1. That is less than 3. Less than 3 means you can stop here. So now swap 6 and 1. Swap 6 and 1. So it becomes 1 and 6. Now see this one. Yeah, P to Q, this one, this part, Q plus 1 to R, right part. So when you consider 1 and 6 swapped, so after that you got this one. Now move I such that it should be, whether it is here, you can move J also, left side, left direction. Okay. Now I is pointing to 6, 6. J is pointing to 4. So I is crossed J. I is crossing the J. When J is less than I or I is greater than J, I is greater than J means I is crossing the J. So there you can stop. So 532 64 137. In this way we are taking. So again, here pivot is 5. So we are dividing this array into two subarrays such that the left subarray should be less than 5 and right subarray is greater than 5, greater than or equal to 5. See the elements, check the elements in the left subarray and check the elements in the right subarray. Left subarray elements are always less than 5 and right subarray elements are greater than or equal to 5. So again consider this left subarray and treat the pivot element and divide this or partition this array after swappings. Next, then you will get 3 is a element. So all the elements which are less than 3 will comes under left subpart and all the elements which are greater than 3 will come under right subpart. So like this part is also we are performing like this. So when you repeat the same process, you will get the sorted elements. So this is a recursive approach. So partition algorithm is very important algorithm that is used to find Q such that to partition the given array into two subarrays. So partition A, P, R, where P is the lower bound, R is the upper bound of the array A. So X, P assigned to X. P assigned to X. We are taking X. So P minus 1 assigned to I. See this P minus 1 that is assigned to I and R plus 1 assigned to J. So while true, do repeat J equal to J minus 1. What we are doing here? J equal to J minus 1. We are decrementing J. Each and every time we are decrementing J such that until A of J less than or equal to X. A of J should be less than or equal to the pivot element. Our pivot element is 5. So 7. A of J less than or equal to X. Condition is satisfied or not. A of J is 7. 7 less than or equal to 5. Is it satisfied? 7 less than 5? No. Wrong. This one. So you can stop there. Now you can observe the I value. So repeat I equal to I plus 1. I is equal to I plus 1 until A of I greater than or equal to X. So we need to continue until A of I greater than or equal to X. That is our pivot element, whether it is more than the pivot element or not. Okay. After that, you can check. So if I is less than j, then exchange a of I equal to a of j. You can exchange the a of I and a of j if I is less than j. Else, in case, else case, return j. Next, you can return the index j. That means I is greater than j. What is the meaning of I is greater than j? I is greater than j means I is cross j. I is cross j. In that case, you can return the index j for this partition algorithm. So each element is visited once. All since in the array elements from P to R, we are visiting one time. So running time of this algorithm is theta of n equal to R minus P plus 1. Now in the quick sort is a recurrence relation. Already you know, quick sort is a recurrence relation, which recursively calls itself. Since we are dividing the given problem, quick sort problem, that is list of array elements, into two parts, and we are recursively applying this quick sort algorithm on those two parts. Now see this one, recurrence case, worst case partitioning. Worst case partitioning means one region has one element and the other has n minus 1 elements. What is the meaning of this one? One region has one element and the other region has n minus 1 elements. When you consider the sorted element file, that means the array elements are already sorted. Now we want to apply quick sort on the sorted elements. When you apply quick sort on sorted elements, the first element is the one subarray and remaining all the elements are in the second subarray. That means the first element is the partitioning element which divides the list into two parts. In the first part, we have the single element, and in the second part, remaining n-1 elements are there. So one region has one element and the other has n-1 elements. So maximally balanced. So in the recurrence case, Q equal to 1, T of n is equals to T of n is equals to class. So T of n, Q equal to 1. So T of n is equals to T of 1 plus T of n minus 1 plus n. So here T of 1, what is the meaning of T of 1? That is a first element in the array. So T of n minus 1, time complexity for the remaining n minus 1 elements in the array. N is the function, that is f of n, we can take for combining the elements of n number of elements of the array, given array. So T of 1 is equal to theta of 1, since 1 is the value for this. So finally, T of n is equal to T of n minus 1 plus n. Since you can take T of 1 as a constant value, that is 1. So when you apply this one, n plus sigma k equal to 1 to n k. That means 1 to n elements we are taking. So minus 1. So is equals to theta of n plus theta of n square. That is equals finally out of theta of n and theta of n square, the highest degree is n square. So we are taking theta of n square. So if T of n minus 1 is the complexity, then you can take this one as a Tn and n. So you can multiply, you will get n square. Theta of n square is the complexity, worst case complexity of the quicksort. See here, we have the n. So one element n minus 1. Again, in the n minus 1, since the quicksort is in applying on the ordered elements, that is sorted order elements, so that n minus 1, 1. N minus 2, again single element, and remaining part is n minus 3 elements. In n minus 3 elements, one element is single part, single subarray, and remaining elements n minus 4. Like this, you can continue. Finally, there are two elements are there. One element you can keep here, and another element 1. Since n minus 2, when you take 1 and n minus 3. So 2 you are taking means 1 and 1. So finally, if you check this one, we have n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, up to 1. So we have the n minus 1, n minus 2, 3, 2, up 1 here. This is totally, when you apply the sum of n natural numbers, n into n plus 1 by 2. So that is the order of n square. So what did the worst case happen? When did the worst case happen? When all the elements in the given array are in sorted order, then the worst case occurs. That means the time complexity theta of n square occurs when you apply the quicksort on the already sorted elements. Okay, best case partitioning. Partitioning produces the regions of size n by 2. So recurrence equation Q equal to n by 2. T of n is equals to 2t of n by 2 plus theta of n. This is a recurrence relation. Q is equals to n by 2. So T of n is equal to theta of n log n according to master theorem. So the complexity of this one is theta of n log n. Since we are dividing into 2 halves, n by 2 and n by 2. So 2t of n by 2. T of n by 2 is one complexity. T of n by 2 is another part complexity. Out of two parts, we have two parts, means we have 2 times T of n by 2 plus theta of n. Theta of n indicates the number of elements we are using for sorting. We are combining those sorted elements. That is theta of n. So this is the figure when you consider the middle element. That is, we are dividing into two parts, n by 2 elements and n by 2 elements. Again, n by 2 is divided by 2. You will get n by 4 elements and n by 4 elements. N by 4 is divided by 2. Then you will get n by 8 and n by 8. So total height of the recursive tree is log n base 2. Okay, this one n, this one n, you can take n. So finally, it is order theta of n log n. Since height of the tree is log n, and for combining all these elements, it is n. So finally, the time complexity is, in the best case, it is theta of n log n. Now see the 9:1 proportional split. So this one, okay, using the recursion tree. Worst case and best case we have taken. So using the recursion tree, the longest path Q of n, shortest path, and Q of n is equal to theta of n log n. So how does partition affect performance of the algorithm. So we are partitioning the given set of elements. Any splitting of constant proportionality yields theta of n log n time. So consider the 1 to n minus 1 splitting. So ratio is 1 by n minus 1. That is not a constant. Now consider n by 2 colon n by 2 of splitting. Then ratio is n by 2 divided by n by 2. One it is a constant. When you take half of the elements is one part, another half of the elements is another part. Then in the partitioning, we are balancingly taking. So the partitioning for splitting or dividing, it takes 1 unit of time. It is a constant. Consider 9 by 10 column 9 by 10 splitting. The ratio is 9. It is also a constant value. So how does partition affect the performance? Performance effect on the quick start, any of a minus 1 divided by n, n by a splitting. So ratio is a minus 1 into n divided by a, n by a is equal to a minus 1. It is a constant value. Now average case performance, when you consider already considered worst case performance and best case performance. In the worst case performance, if the given array elements are already in sorted order. In the case of average best case performance, if the array elements are divided into two parts, two halves. So average case, all permutations of the input numbers are equally likely. So on a random input array, when you take some input array, we have a mix of well-balanced and unbalanced splits. So good and bad splits are randomly distributed across throughout the tree. So division or partitioning may be good or bad. So n number of elements. One element is one subarray, n minus 1 in another subarray. Alternate of a good and a bad split. Suppose n minus 1. We are dividing into n minus 1 by 2 elements and n minus 1 by 2 elements. So n minus 1 left subarray is 1 element and right subarray with n minus 1 elements. This is a best case we are taking. But we are dividing n minus 1 into again half and half. Half and half. Okay. This is the first case. This is the second case. So half and half means best case. n minus 1 means worst case. Just check here the diagram. Worst case 1 n minus 1. See this one. Best case partitioning produces two regions of size n by 2. This is a best case. So we have the worst case, best case, average case. So any splitting of a constant proportionality yields theta of n log n time. Consider 1 to n minus 1 splitting. Ratio is 1 by n minus 1, not a constant value. Whereas n by 2 to n by 2 splitting, half splitting, it is a constant. When you consider 9n by 10, n by 10 splitting, 9 parts in one part, n parts we are dividing. So 9n by 2 and n by 10. Splitting ratio is 9. It is a constant value. So partition, how the partition affects the performance. Any a minus 1 into n by a, n by a splitting. Ratio this one, a minus 1 is a constant value. Okay, this is about the average case. So n minus 1 divided into 2 halves, this is a good case. This is a n divided into 1 element and n minus 1 elements. This is a bad case. So combined partitioning cost 2n minus 1. Add n and n minus 1, 2n minus 1 is equal to theta of n. Nearly well balanced state. Partition cost is theta of n, n minus 1 by 2 plus 1, n minus 1 by 2, this one. Running time of quicksort when levels alternate between good and bad splits is theta of n log n. When you consider the running time of quicksort, that is a theta of n log n. Okay, thank you, students. The class is completed. All of you listening the class. If you have any doubt, any questions, raise your hand. Okay, any doubts? Okay, we can close the session now. We can continue in the next class. Thank you, all of you. Okay, thank you, all of you. Okay, thank you, students. The class is completed.